Howdy, y'all. We went from working on the inside of the house last time to now we're on the outside, and looks like we're digging some post holes for a fence using my Harbor Freight auger, the electric auger. And I have gotten to love this thing pretty well. You know, the cord gets in the way when you're spinning around, but I'd rather deal with that than smelling two-stroke exhaust from the gas-powered ones. So yeah, so that worked pretty good. And most of my soil's fine. A little bit rockier over here because there's backfill, and then as I get closer to the trees, obviously we get some roots in the way. So you'll see me switching around from the auger to the hand post hole digger. And then once the holes are done, I just use a little garden tool here to brush away all the piles of dirt and debris, a lot of leaves and stuff so they don't fall back into the holes. And it's just easier to see where I got things. And here I haven't been able to go into destruction mode for quite a while, so it was nice to take this last part of the front fence down. And I do have some fence that looks just as good as that in the back end, but we'll worry about that some years from now, I imagine. We got lots of maple tree foliage coming down there, and that maple tree up in the front there, and then we have this cedar tree behind me. So lots of duff there, and some weedy tree growth, so we're just kind of cutting them as far down as I can with the chainsaw, and that's the quickest way to ruin your chainsaw chain is to dig in the dirt there, but luckily it's just a lot of duff there. But then we go over to this section where it is kind of dirt, but yeah, I tried to stay out of the dirt as much as I could. But anyway, we'll describe the leveling of the beam process here. And just like that, we have a temporary carport sitting here. It's raining, and I've got my post just sitting in the ground. So I just pulled them out of my shed and put them in the holes. Might have to dig a little bit deeper on a few of these to get at least 2 feet or close to 2 feet down. So anyway, I just wanted to show that I got them pulled out, and now we'll, probably not today, I got to go to work here pretty soon. But on another day, in a moment for you guys, I'll start putting some stakes in the ground to level these all up straight and plumb, and then we'll get to pouring some cement in these holes. And here we go, putting up the posts there, and just used, two 2x4s to try to level them out. And this first one here, I put, these little stakes here to make sure it doesn't move at all. And I realized after doing the first one and leveling it out, kind of unnecessary. So as we go down, I don't do that. But had a lot of rainwater in this barrel, or in this wheelbarrow, so I didn't even have to use bucketed water for the first batch of mixing concrete. So we just shovel this around with the hoe there and get it thoroughly mixed and start shoveling. And there you can see a bucket. Had to start using some extra water. But we get this done, and this aspect, I think I tried to go with 2 bags of Quikrete for each post hole. These are, 6 foot high, so I think that's good to go. And then we'll see how I level it up here. And there it is. Got the first post up here. Excessive amount of cement in there. And then we got this on here, and it looks pretty level. Right in there. Forward and back. Good enough for a fence. And it's just pushing on this a little bit, which is fine because I got it tied off in the center of that board against the tree, and I kind of wanted it to go out a little bit anyway. So having this sit on this and pushing it out a little bit is what I wanted, because every post is going to be just on that side of it. So we'll work our way down. Maybe not tonight since it's getting colder and darker and wetter. Maybe we've done enough, but we'll see if I get another one done here. Yeah, and there was some debris left in that one again because it'd been a little while. A second ago that carport wasn't on the left. Now it is. So yeah, some stuff got in there. And these ones I didn't put the little spikes in to get it to sit in place, but I think it worked out pretty good without bothering with that because, we just do another couple bags of concrete here. And what I was saying is, I went with 2, I think they were 60-pound bags, and I tried to get around 2 feet deep in each post hole. I didn't use those little, they make those Quikrete cardboard tubes. I don't know if those are just a gimmick or whatever, but with my little auger, most of these holes are pretty rounded anyway, so we just shovel them in there as it was, and it came out to about 2 bags, got up to the top. Like I said, I tried to go down 2 feet-ish, and so it worked out pretty well. Again, just trying to, you saw me with the tape measure real quick, trying to make sure it's at least close to 2 feet. Once I get near this tree, there's a couple ones that are just a little bit less because roots were in the way. But with the roots were in the way, so it kind of stiffened up the hole, when you get the concrete in there with the tree roots. So I figured it's probably stiffer there than in some of this loamy soil that I got going on in other parts of my property. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty solid. So yeah, just there's some more water, mixing cement, and I did get a good workout putting this fence up. So it's kind of funny how that works. I'll do this kind of work and it's pretty labor intensive. I'm like finally feeling like, oh yeah, I'm getting in shape. And then I'll do something pretty mellow for a few weeks to a month, and then I feel like I'm out of shape after that. Funny how that works, but I guess you need a break from doing hard labor all the time anyway. So, but as long as I keep moving, I'll be in somewhat decent shape, I suppose. And here you can see I was getting kind of late at night working on these ones, so I think this is the last one I show on this side because I think I had one more to go, but it was just too dark, so I didn't bother taping that one. Even had to turn up the contrast on this when I was editing it because it was super dark. Yeah, that one's so dark. That's why it gets all blurry. But then we come to, I think I may have done this before the other side, I can't remember. Or I just had better weather because I think there's times where I'm not wearing my fleece here. So it might have gotten warmer out, which is always nice to work when it's warmer. But I don't think I showed laying the string for the last one. But yeah, we just laid the string down where I thought a good straight line would be. And then I'm just measuring in about 8 inches in between, put a stake in. And I put the stake about a foot away from the string line, and then just measured back so I could cut the holes where it is. But anyway, we'll talk about what's going on right here. Yep, and this is why you call before you dig. Or, well, the power is going to be right here anyway because it's right there. But I knew it was at an angle. Either came down like this and over, but probably more likely right there. So we were just trying to be careful. I know they're supposed to go down at least a couple feet. And just before a couple feet, we ran into some plastic. Oh, let me reach in here. And sure enough, caution, electric below. So yeah, that's as far as we're gonna go for putting this fence post in. That'll work, huh? We didn't get electrocuted. We didn't blow anything up. So on to the next one. But yeah, before we go to the next one, I remember when they did locate it before, it came down here, and I think it goes across about, you can see the line over there, so it comes down right about here when they marked it previously. So should be safe on that one going down. Maybe hit some phone lines, but I don't think those are even working anymore. So, but again, we'll be cautious. I'll go down about a foot and a half with the electric and then start hand digging. Luckily, all my soil is mostly rock-free, except over there a little bit where they did some backfilling just around the house pad. But in the yard itself, very few rocks. So easy peasy digging as far as digging goes. So just when I say I have no rocks in my soil over here, yeah, I get the biggest rock on the property that I've found. Well, other than that giant rock that's sitting over where my carport is, but the biggest rock I've had to dig out. So yeah, I got stuck with the auger, so then I had to dig around, hand trowel, flat shovel, all this good stuff. Yeah, it took me a long time. And here she comes. Oh, there it is. Oh, here we go. Boom. Yeah. That one wore me out, that's for sure. Yeah, so smooth sailing after that. No power lines, no cable lines, no telephone lines. But yeah, I was mentioning how they did go along there. I did have it, actually when the people that came to lay my new cable line came, they marked all the water lines and power lines. So I had an idea where they were at, but couldn't remember exactly. But obviously the power line was going to come right through there. But yeah, and now it's time to get more materials. And unfortunately, when you hoard wood, they're not always in the spot that you need them. So it took me forever just to get all these beams out of there. but I was glad I already had them paid for. So the budget for that was already taken care of. But in the end, I'm messing with my layout of the fence here. I'll talk about it in a minute, but I had to use a lot more. Oh, wait, never mind. My poor camera. I forgot about that. It's taken a beating so many times. But anyway, I've changed the design of my fence, so I ran out of 2x4s, the pressure treated. They go span in between, and we'll discuss what that design feature is here in a minute. But yeah, I ended up just getting, I had to buy, I think 12 more. It's going to save me on picket costs in the end, so we'll see how it pans out. And it will really save me. What the idea is that I'm going to be able to use reclaimed fence pickets a lot easier with this new design instead of your standard 6-foot pickets. You know, just the 2 beams across and then a 6-foot picket. I'm putting some corrugated in here, but we will get to that in a minute. But yeah, just as it goes, just rinse and repeat with mixing some concrete, throwing them in the holes. And I think I did put the big rock back in this hole just because it would have taken me like 4 bags of concrete to mix it up. And even with, I put that big rock back in, put some more dirt back in there. And then with the 2 bags, it was a little shy. But it worked out because in this one here where the power line was underneath it, it took just less than 2. So I took the leftovers and put it in the other one. All right, let's see how we did here. And you can just kind of see the green light on the very tippy top of that one. Same with this one. Same, this one's like just about there. Yeah, it's right there. Same with this one. So not bad. And coming over to this corner, it actually isn't too far off. So if I put my hand up here, we're only about 3/4 of an inch off or so. So not bad. Close enough. All right, over on this side, this one's right at the top there. And there's literally only about a 1/2 inch over here. 3/8 of an inch on this one. Those ones are quite a bit higher over there, but I'm going to go with the top of that one to match that one. So we'll have a step up over here. So now we'll cut this one and this one just to match that one. All right, so yeah, it was a little dark there, so you couldn't see when I cut it, so I didn't record it. And I'm putting these little Simpson brackets here for the spanner 2x4s, and it's kind of in a weird pattern there. You see there's 2 really close together, and one at the top. I'll put some at the lower end at another point, but we'll explain why we're doing that here. All right, so we pulled all these little metal corrugated sheets out here. We got a pile of them here. I think they were just on top of a makeshift lean-to shed thing when I first bought the property, and they just been sitting in a corner. Actually, half of them were sitting under some dirt I had to dig up. What we're going to do is incorporate them into the fence here so I can use pieces of reclaimed fencing and make them fit. But yeah, so what we're going to do is these are about just over 2 feet wide, so just over a foot in the middle here. I'll use my trusty Wen metal shearing cutting thingamabob that I bought when I took the metal rolling sheet metal off the top of the roof. I had to cut it in pieces, so I picked this up for pretty cheap, and we'll put it to use here. And I'm going to go on like the middle ridge here and just use that as a center line and cut down, and so hopefully it works pretty well. If it does, we'll do that with all of them. Well, let's see. All right, there it is. I didn't shoot the straightest arrow going down there, but it's not too bad. I'm going to frame these in anyway with strips around the whole perimeter of it, so it'll be hidden for the most part. But yeah, I think this is a good width, I think. So we'll see how it looks when we put it up there. All right, my buddies over at Inkerma, which I think they're Lays Goo as well. I think they same company sent me this laser level, and then they sent me this digital measuring thing, which is great for angles and straight lines. But this one they just sent me is just a straight line measure. It has the laser measure and just manual tape measure. So we'll see how this thing works out. Looks pretty cool. You got your manual tape here. Hard to do with one hand, but it comes out as a standard tape measure and then has digital as well. So We're working on the fence right now because we got a break in the rain. So we'll go out there and see how accurate it is compared to this one, and then the manual one, and then just a standard manual one that I have from the box store. We'll see which one, or if they all are about the same. All right, so yeah, always great to have new tool time, especially when they're giving it to me. I don't know if you could see the measurement mark there on that one. Maybe if you pause it, you can, but I would just go on with each little tool that I've gotten and the standard tape measure to see how off or on they are, and you can see that one. And then I do this tape measure, and it's about right. But yeah, they all ended up pretty much spot on, so I trust it's fairly accurate. And so here we're just gonna cut the first 4 in, and they all work pretty well. I had to do a little bit of adjusting, but that was just more because the bracket and the screws made me want to cut about a 1/4 inch off of each one. So in the end, they worked out pretty well. But yeah, I think this video is getting a little long in the tooth. So we'll leave you here, plus I'm just out of materials, and we'll explain a little bit more why that is the case. But check it out on the next one when we get more of it done. All right, so there it is. There's the first set of 2x4 spanners in there, and I described that there's going to be corrugated right here, and then we'll pick it up there and pick it down there. I got all the corrugated pieces, but I don't have enough of the pickets, so we can't finish that. So we're kind of going to leave you hanging right here. Plus the old man is now getting old, and he has a pinched nerve in his neck, and his arm keeps going numb or hurting in certain positions, so we probably shouldn't even be working on this. So we'll take a little time to heal up before we get some more paychecks, so I can either figure out buying some more pickets or finding some used stuff to reclaim. Yeah, this little tape measure, the Inkerma Ace tape, did pretty good. The first one that I measured was 92, and it was about 3 or 5/16, I think. And then the rest of them were 92 and 7/16. And so I don't know if there's a little bend in the wood there, probably. Nothing's perfectly straight, or once I put that one in there, it messed with the other measurements. But even if it went this way or that way, the bottom one wouldn't have been the same as that one or that one. But anyway, I think it did pretty good. I did have to cut a little bit off, for the bracket and the screws in there. Probably had to take a 1/4 inch off each piece. But yeah, I think the tape did well. It's nice, to have the laser part to measure between there instead of having to worry about the tape flopping on you, and then having the physical tape part for when you go to measure the board to cut. So that worked out pretty well. But yeah, pretty impressed with it. So link in the description if you need one of these or want one. But yeah, so there we are for now, and let's hope for healed nerves and more money so I can finish this fence project. But hope it was good enough for y'all, and we'll check you on the next one. Take care. Bye.